on the screen.
That's true.
Might need to mute my laptop.
Yes. All right. We should be live.
All right. Welcome to Books You Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Jason.
And today we are discussing all of Guns of the Dawn by Adrian Tchaikovsky. So before we even get started, if you haven't read it yet, you've got to go read it. And then you can come back and join us. We don't want to spoil anything. It's so good. So just get out of here, you, and come on back later. A couple of other housekeeping items. We have tons of other books playlisted for you in the playlist section of our channel. So if this book wasn't for you, there might be something there that is. We are available on YouTube Music as a podcast in case you ever want to hear us and not see us. And we're on Instagram for the memes. We're on Fable to keep the discussion going between episodes. And that's all. We might be on TikTok, but no one knows.
We're not. Well, I haven't done.
We're not. We thought we were.
There's a lot of work to be done to get that off the ground.
There's some things that we just must accept within our generational gaps.
Indeed.
We have announced our next book. Mm-hmm. Just more housekeeping stuff. So syllabus will come out for that soon. We haven't decided yet if it's a 2-week or a 3-week. One of the book club members has already read it. So, started and finished within the time we announced it. So, a man called Ove. Mm-hmm. So, by Friedrich Bachmann.
So, before we get started, talking about the current book, let me ask you all this. It does appear, it does appear that it's a relatively short book. Would y'all prefer 2 weeks, or would y'all prefer 3 weeks with less reading in it? Y'all just
yeah.
let us know.
Inform us on how you want to handle that.
Yeah, because it looks like we could probably go either way. Should I let her in?
No.
Okay.
Chaos.
All right.
That's okay.
Franklin's got no self-control. That's fine.
Okay, so...
If he had said it was bad, we could have been like,
and we're changing our book. Yeah, we need a pre-reader.
Yeah.
So, Guns of the Dawn.
Yes.
Okay, so, initially, I was, think about, the title of the book and why is it called that, When we learned about the difference between the cushion front and the, what was the one that she was on, the Levant front or whatever?
Or something.
Levant, that's it. She talked about how, the Levant front is where the dawn comes, sunset's really fast there because of the cliffs and stuff like that, the mountains. And so, Guns of the Dawn, they're the fighting, the morning front, right? But then by the end of it, Guns of the Dawn has a different meaning, I think. And I don't know if it's predicting what happens once sun rises and their king is found as she left him.
Wow, I had none of these thoughts. This is good.
This book, y'all, I was explaining it earlier, and it's just a war story. It really is not much different, from any other poignant telling of what it means to be a person living day to day and then becoming a soldier, battling these two selves, and then being able to return, how difficult that is to return. And it ties into, oh my gosh, I just have so many thoughts. So just bear with me. It ties into, the struggle that civilians feel between, in America, Veterans Day and Memorial Day. In a lot of ways, Memorial Day is easier because you don't have to face it. Veterans Day is harder because you have to look into the eyes of someone who has seen whatever and has fought whatever. And, so we see that with Emily, her figuring out, oh my gosh, I'm going to get to come home, and do I belong home? And is it Emily or is it Soldier Emily? And, just battling all these inner thoughts and what role does she have in the world after this, easing back into civilian life, just to be called right back in to action. And all of that weight on her to make this choice of do we rebel? Do we quell? Do we flip the script and shoot the king? Like, what? I did not expect that at all. I thought, honestly, that she was going to remember the way her father left. And, you know, so much of Emily has come to terms with understanding these, like, dualities. These, here's what I understood at one time, and here's what I understand now. And we see that with her dad and with Mr. Northway. We see it with everybody. And so I thought we were going to come kind of full circle to her following in her father's footsteps with that pistol.
God, that would have been dark. I'm glad we did not.
But that's what I was bracing myself for. And the hard thing to do was so simple in the end. He was going to cause all of these terrible things to the people. And the whole story has been, there's a king's battle and there's the people's battle. And God, okay, I'm going to be quiet for the rest of the show now. Y'all can all talk it out. But that was just, it was so beautifully told along the way.
Well, and I think one of the best things, I mean, and there's so much to talk about besides just like the end of the book, but also like the end of the book, right? I really enjoy that. I mean, like, just like what a bizarre situation, right? So here we are. She has served all this time. She has shot the king.
Gosh.
She's chilling in the woods with Mr. Northway. Like, is she a villain? Is she a hero? It depends on who you ask. And then the story ends. And we don't know what price she pays for this, but like we know that she does, you know? And one of the prices that she's going to pay is with the warlock, right? Because he will never be able to love her because he was like truly committed to the king or whatever. And
she could never tell him what she did, which would be lying to him. So Northway will be in love and alone. Giles will be alone, in love and alone, and missing half of himself that's been ripped from him. And Emily will be in love and alone. If Grant stays loyal to her, because Grant will know that she came back without her horse. Grant will know what that gunshot wound was from, because he knows that pistol. Grant will know. They act like this is a secret that they can keep between themselves, but Grant will know.
Grant's going to keep his mouth shut. He's a loyal man, through and through, to her.
I think so too.
Yeah. So not only, like, I think it was interesting to see that sort of like, is my oath or whatever loyalty really worth like everybody's death? Because like, to me, the answer is clearly no. But also just to like see sort of the occupation of these people, because like, and again, I keep comparing this book to The Nightingale. But in The Nightingale, you know, the occupation is by the Nazis. It's by like the bad guys. And I'm not sure that what are they called? The other country?
Denlanders?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Denland is like the good guys. They're just the other guys.
They're just...
And there's this kind of cool exploration at the, like, you get this whole, like, we're all just people in this war trying to survive. We get a lot of just, like, very on the nose, like, this is not the enemy. It's just the guy trying to kill me. And that's what makes him an enemy, and that's it. But then once you get to the occupation point, you get to this whole, like, rounding people up and, like, well, we might kill you and your family. And, I mean, like, all this other stuff, right? Like, this like, dark side of what might have to be done for peace. And like, I'm not sure the Denlanders are wrong, because like the king is running around doing this thing, you know? And
Exhibit A.
Yeah. And so like, what price do you have to pay to prevent something worse? And this is something that I've talked about a lot on the show, and something that I think about in terms of like government and being in government is just like, what are some of the, sometimes you have to make a bad choice to prevent a worse choice. And I'm not saying that it makes it okay. I'm just saying it makes it understandable. You know, like you've still made a bad choice.
Right.
And you still have to pay whatever consequences there are for that choice. Yeah.
Right. And two, when you're in the moment, the history is being written. You don't have the value of hindsight, of looking back to see, well, there was this secret option C that you didn't know about. And we also see that when she's returning home and the rumors have come ahead of her, building her up to be, you know, the queen of the fighters, you know, this legacy that has been built of her that she had no control over and had no idea was happening. She doesn't even know what they think she's done.
Have you ever heard of the great man theory? Like, do you know about that? So the great man theory is this idea that like history is, there's really like two opposing views. One is the great man theory, which is that history is written by and driven forward by great men. The other like theory is sort of this like cultural ebbs and flows, right? And what I think is cool about this story is the great man in this story is a woman. Which like this theory when it came around like the 1700s or whatever, like didn't even exist, you know? But Emily is not, like she is a great woman, but she's not like the great woman that made things happen. She was just like the person in the situation that could rise to the top, right? Because like all of her commanding officers basically failed her. But there's no reason why this story couldn't be about Emily's second and about a woman who had like all these male officers fail and then her woman officer failed and then she rose up and like because like that vacuum will be filled by someone, you know, and that doesn't make them not great, but like it's just the person who was there for the who could handle it, and that's what Emily really is.
It's just the person who handled it.
Correct.
She wasn't aware that she could handle it, and she still doesn't know why she's the face of this instead of Tubal.
Yes. Yeah, she's like...
And even Tubal's like...
Whatever. Yeah.
I dreaded finishing this book. I had like 2 hours left. And that's the point where they're completely surrounded and the tensions are high and you don't know what's going to happen. And I just didn't want to finish it because I knew I was close to the end. And I knew... then that meant that I would never see these characters again and I was going to miss them. And also I didn't want to see them die.
Yeah.
It was so hard to finish.
Peggy's saying that Emily was the least dead woman of rank. And a man couldn't be the story like she could. And I agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, because like, this is really a story about Emily and about identity. And like, we've done the dude to soldier arc literally for all of history. Emily equals Forrest Gump. That's a fair point.
Just kept running.
The other thing I think is kind of interesting about this book is that we have magic to no end. You know, like there were the swamp people, which like was fine. It kind of does the whole like colonization, great powers war on somebody else's territory concept, which is something that like Tchaikovsky has done, especially in like Children of Time, where you see sort of these superpowers fighting in somebody else's backyard instead of in their own. But like at first I was like, why do we even care? Like, why is there magic? Why is there fire magic? Who cares? It doesn't amount to anything. But what we're really seeing here is the literal last gasps of magic in this world. You know, like, because all we know is that there are two kings that have the power to give off this magic, and by the end of this they are now dead and magic is gone from the world. You know, it's almost like the whenever Frodo and everybody like sails off, right? Like it's the last of the elves and it's like the end of an age, and this is just like a sadder Frodo situation.
God.
Yeah.
I would read this again. Yeah, that Shelby's statement, war doesn't have winners. I mean, that point was just driven home over and over again.
Right.
You know, by the end of it, everyone's destroyed. And,
and just because there's not winners doesn't mean it's not like necessary. And I say that in like the worst possible way. You know what I mean? But like, we talked about this last week a little bit, but the reason war exists is because like in the end, it always comes down to who's willing to do violence, you know? And we can set up like whatever little system we want. And that's even a concern that Dr. Lanagaya has, you know, he's like, well, we've set up this parliament so we can all discuss, but like, we're kind of at each other's throats, you know? So
I love this exploration of, Dr. Lamb was a feared name. He was the big bad. And I was like terrified when she was taken prisoner to come face to face with him.
yeah.
And then you see the reality of it, and he can be cruel. He was willing to do whatever he needed to do to get answers, but he was not what he was made out to be, as is the legacy of Malin. Like,
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
stories on the Denlander side of Malin.
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky just found a way to explore all of these very important metaphorical lessons learned, like, type things in this book, and he just did it so beautifully.
Yeah. Well, in talking about Malin, the whole like little bit about he had a girlfriend, but she was a Denlander.
Yeah.
And like they're connected through their nerdiness, but they both were like called to duty or whatever.
And Emily's hope that once this war was over and he stayed there, that she'd come back looking for him. Again, Emily learning that, like, it is not, things are not good and bad, right and wrong, Denlander, whatever they are. Like, that was such a huge growth point for her. And her fury at Alice, like, Alice having not changed, because she's been through nothing to change her. And then now Emily against this unchanged Alice. I don't know. That was just like really big there at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Alice's anger at her talking to Northway and not understanding like things have changed. But then Alice's flirting with the Denlander,
Right.
the person who captured, and abused
the provost. Yeah.
Emily. Yeah. I mean, that was all just really interesting.
Yeah. And I think that's like the hardest part is it's not coming home to a place that is the same, but it's coming home to like people that like have. It's like what if he froze people in time, and like you had all these experiences and came back and they didn't have any of that, and they can't ever possibly understand.
And at the same time, though, they did go through their own traumas. Maybe not Alice. Mary did, And that's something also that Emily can never understand, is what they went through while she was gone.
There's a line that Tubal says where he's like, "Oh, well, you were just Mary's other sister." And
Yeah.
And I thought that was like really funny in a way, because it's I mean, like, he just didn't pay her any attention, right? Like, he was there for Mary, and like there were some sisters or whatever, and then he was like, "Oh, like, but you're cool though," and so even though this war has like taken so much from everyone, like they have been given this thing that they never would have had, and maybe that would be for the best, but
I'm glad that they have each other going forward, though. Because how can Emily go on? Let's say no one ever suspects that she did this thing to the king.
right,
She just gets to go on about her life, run in her manner, whatever. How can she exist just with Alice from here on out? How horrible, just how frustrating. So for her to be able to like pick up her survivors club every once in a while with him and maybe even be able to reach back out to the others.
Yeah.
But who knows what's going to happen to Giles? I don't know.
I really enjoyed like the bit about like the chat was discussing her pants earlier, how she never like changed her pants, and how she kept like packing her pistol and never realizing it. That's what PTSD is, right? Like that's trauma, and so often we talk about trauma in terms of like flashbacks and things like that, but trauma is packing your gun every day even though you're safe, because like you never know when you might need it. It's wearing pants so that you can like move quickly, it's and it was just like a very subtle discussion of trauma.
But I mean, she almost killed Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor thing. It was so complex, but still so easy to read. And he builds his characters so deeply and so thoroughly. Just with little things, like even what you pulled, what you mentioned last week, like Alice laughing while her life is in danger, and laughing at some slight made to Emily, Such depth of character for everyone. Hey, do you know who I picture in my mind is Mr. Northway?
Hang on.
I know that you know who I'm picturing. And it took me until the end of the book to realize that's who was playing him in my head.
I don't know, but I'll tell you the first person who popped in my mind.
Who?
Well, so the guy from Peaky Blinders, I can't remember his real name. I've never actually watched that show, but that's the guy. Cillian Murphy. That's who I see in my head.
Oh, I saw the pale guy from Turn.
Oh, yeah, he'd be fantastic.
The guy, he's in the same kind of role.
Yes,
in a way, just with
good. Yeah.
Just wrong side.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But he did love. And
he would be fun. Okay, so that's a really good point. I don't know if anybody has watched Turn. It's a lot of seasons, and it's good.
We never finished it, but it was great.
It was good. But there is a sort of like British soldier semi-administrator character who just is Mr. Northway. I mean, it's exactly the same arc, more or less. Yeah, very.
As far as we know it, we never finished it,
fair
but
enough.
That's him.
Yeah.
So that's who I saw this whole time and did not realize it until he was curled up on the ground right before she was charged to shoot him.
Yeah. Interesting. Who do you see as Emily?
Me.
I had not considered that. Okay, yeah.
Why wouldn't you put yourself as the strong lead? Are you kidding?
If they made a movie of this and they said, Nicole, we want you to come quit your job and play Emily.
Gosh, insufficient. I'm not good enough. And I'm not cute enough with short hair.
But I think that's the point. First off, maybe. You never know. But like, We should do this more often where we like cast the book. Like we'll have to do like bonus episodes where we cast the book. It'd be a lot of fun.
Oh shoot.
Because like, what's the real tragedy here is the quartermaster.
Brocky.
Brocky, yeah, but he's a lot of fun.
Wait, what? Yeah, he's at Germain right now.
Yeah, but
okay.
like he. Like his life is not ending up the way it wants to, and his girlfriend died, and
that was rough. I was rowing while listening to that part, and I was like, I'm glad I don't have enough oxygen to cry right now.
Yeah, the whole part where she's like, maybe she'll pull through, and he was like, oh, you haven't heard she
you
did.
Don't know.
Yeah,
that description of, and then I realized that his words were in pity to me.
Yeah,
because I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. God, that's fire writing right there.
Look, my eyes are watering, just like reliving it. Mm-hmm. Gosh. This was such a good book. Just how
Franklin asked ChatGPT who would play the role of Mr. Northway best, and it said Cillian Murphy.
Wow. He that's the guy that reads the train story on Calm. Like the train through like Ireland or Scotland or something like that. Yeah. I think so. It was Cillian someone.
There's a lot of them.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I take it back.
Yeah. He doesn't quite have... He might have an Irish accent. But he can...
Oh, okay,
I don't know that I've ever heard him really do one. He was also in like 28 Days Later. And
okay, yeah. Wrong Cillian. My bad.
Oh, Dr. Lamb. Who would play Dr. Lamb? Liam Neeson. What's ChatGPT say?
I
or
saw
Boromir Shambine.
Dr. Lamb as the guy from Jurassic Park that opens the park. That guy.
Oh, that'd be good. He's a little shorter than I'd imagine.
I don't know why these are the faces that came. This book so played out like a movie in my mind, though. Mm-hmm. It was just so vivid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I can definitely see it as a movie, which is wild because, like, of all the books that Tchaikovsky has written, this is the one on Fable that had no chapters, right? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why is nobody reading this?
Now.
Yeah.
So
Benedict Cumberbatch, that'd be good.
When I said that would be good. When I said that I'm playing Emily in my mind, really who I saw, like, at the beginning, towards the end, I think it was just an invisible face because it was me. I was seeing everything through her eyes.
Sure.
But at the beginning, I was really seeing Mary from Downton Abbey.
I'm not sure which character that is.
That's the
main one?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I think in my head I was kind of seeing the same thing. And that might just be because it's been like on the TV
I saw
recently.
these three girls as Sybil,
Yeah.
Mary, and
Yeah.
and the other one. I can't remember her name right now.
Yeah.
From Downton Abbey.
You know, like something, just think about Downton Abbey because that's World War I era-ish. It's interwar, I think. But, you know, I really enjoyed, and I made this comment on the first one. I was like, I'm much more interested in World War I, and this is like kind of Napoleonic-esque. But like we do, like not only, Franklin and I were talking about like the secret of the guns was just rifling, which was like,
Yeah.
which I knew that was what was going to happen. But
yeah, it was magic.
it was just rifling, right? But like that happened in our world too,
Yeah.
right? And I really enjoyed just sort of like how mundane that was. But by the end of it, we have traction guns, which are basically tanks, you know, and so like
Yeah.
we are truly in that place where like the magic of the world is over and industrial war is here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he was like, wait till you see these, whatever he called, traction.
Traction guns.
And I was like, oh, that's a tank.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and that was such a small little piece, but it just built the world so well. This author.
Yeah.
And there were several times when I had, you know, Children of Time vibes, just
Yeah,
with how
yeah.
beautifully written everything was.
You know, so in this house, we are huge fans of Tchaikovsky at this point. We
Yeah.
already were, but like I think we've doubled down. The other book that I could have chosen from him that I'm interested in, I think it's called like the Spiderlight Chronicles or Archives or something. But it's sort of about like the typical like D&D party, and they go off on like a little mission or something. And I think that'd be kind of fun. You know, it's supposed to be like a little funny, maybe. So that'd be interesting.
A very expensive cast.
Was anyone else surprised
Especially if I'm there.
that Giles had red hair? I didn't see that in my head.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when they called him Redhead, I was like, well, hello. Yeah. Did not realize.
You know, I don't think I saw the bad warlock in my head, like, at all. And, like, oh God, what a bad dude. Like, I don't even know if we need to, like, talk about that. But
You know, I couldn't even remember by the end. I'm like, what happened to him? Did he die?
yeah. He got shot. So, I mean, he tries to sexually harass Emily.
Assault.
Yes.
Sexually assault.
I'm keeping it, like, PG rated. But yes, indeed. And everybody gets involved. Giles decides it's time for him to die. They go out there. Emily's about to put a cap in him, and then the Denlanders do it instead.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I had to reread the beginning of that chapter a few times because I just wasn't quite catching what the letter was. But she was saying, like, at one time there were hundreds and hundreds of warlocks. And she was like, and tonight we were treated to a true warlock battle.
Yeah.
The feast of a true
Yeah.
the visual feast of a warlock battle. I was like, oh wow. Poor little dude lost his fingers.
Yep. Yep.
I'm glad he's dead. The bad one.
Well, and Giles might be alive now because
Right.
there is no magic anymore.
Right. And
is the theory.
Northway thinks that they won't kill him because the magic's gone.
Right.
Because they are a very reasonable people.
Yes.
It's so odd. Any other people would be like, nah, we were already slated to kill you today, so let's just go
Well,
on with
this part, you know, like they had German accents in the book. There's no reason for them to like have had German accents at all.
that. Oh, did they?
Yeah,
You know,
in the
I
audiobook.
didn't. I really only
I made a joke about it last week.
read
Yeah.
the rest of it.
Yeah, so all the Denlanders have German accents, and there's no, and like World War I and World War II are very different, but you do kind of start getting like some World War II Nazi vibes there at the end with like the work camps and the death camps and all that stuff they have like potentially planned up. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like it got dark real fast.
What a huge, just back to the like very end. Just what a huge choice that she made.
Yeah, but you know like,
But
just
that's
like
just fighting against a whole lifetime of belief that the king is your man.
yeah,
that his choice is the right choice for everyone, and that you stand by it. And that she was able to reason past that and see all the... That just amazes me, and I think it's because I wouldn't be able to make that choice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that, like, the way it's written, like, clearly it's a choice, but I'm not sure it was, like, a deep choice. You know, this kind of goes with my idea that, like, we all think a lot less than we think we do. And, I mean, she just, like, it was like that.
She was like, camps, my nephew,
yeah, boom, boom.
This is the one thing that would stop that from happening.
Yeah. I don't think there was a lot of, like, contemplation here.
Right.
It was like, this is what I have to do. It was, you know, because like, I mean, think about the time that she first shot that Denlander, right?
Yeah.
That scene where she first shoots that guy. If anything, we only have 2 scenes in this entire book where she clearly shoots somebody. And it's that first scene with the Denlander, and it's this scene with the king.
No, she shot that other guy in the Family Jewels.
Oh, yeah, she did do that. But, like, yeah, okay, that's fair. She definitely killed him.
Never.
And like, and she definitely, like, shot other people as well. But, like, scene wise, okay, let's put all 3 of them together, right? In that scene with the first guy, right? Like, she just had to make a decision. It was either you die or I die. And the scene with the sexual assault with Sharky or whatever, right? It was either you die or I die. And with this scene here at the King, it's you die or I die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same split-second reaction that she has to this, like, rapist and to this, like, just enemy soldier. It's the same thing. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, I had to Google the word also for slaughterhouse.
Oh, yeah. An abattoir.
Yeah. It was so good. Mr. Tchaikovsky.
You want to be on our show, bud?
Well done.
I'll write him a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a lot of killing. I'm not disagreeing.
She just... Yeah, her instincts are just so good. Yeah, I just want to reread it. I just pick up the pieces I missed and... And there's not many books that I'm willing to reread. I'm like, I got it. You know, like, that was great. Wish I could read it for the first time again, but whatever. But this one, I'm like, no, I want to do it again.
But we were like that with Children of Time as well.
I want to read that one again, too. Just recapture the magic. So, yeah, what rating, Peggy and Shelby?
It was like 7.2 and like 7.5.
What?
So I'm not exactly sure what book is winning for the year at this point. It might be this one. What else did we read?
I don't know.
The Monk Thing. And then I had a book before that. Piranesi.
Oh yeah. I had a mental little comparison with this book to Piranesi. Piranesi going out into the world, pretending for other people to be his former self, to give them closure, living these 2 worlds. One but in his previous, one in the Piranesi home and then one out in the real world, bringing some other people with him back into the Piranesi home. Yeah, I made a pretty strong comparison between those two.
we had a like a similar trauma discussion there at the end of Piranesi. Yeah. And about being a different person and all that.
I guess that was the end of
Yeah.
last year. No? Did it go into the new year? I don't. What is
It
time?
doesn't matter, but
2026 has been 20 years. I don't.
we've read another book this year.
I don't know. This was good. I wish I would have picked it.
He has more. Well, I think I'm about tapped out, though.
Yeah.
Okay, Name of the Rose is the first book of 2026 officially. That's good. We got all that bad juju out of us.
God, what a way to start the year. I'm sorry.
It's fine. We'll forget about it soon. Well, yeah, I guess that's it for today. If you have not picked up A Man Called Ove, I don't know the author's name.
Friedrich Bachmann.
Okay, you should go ahead and pick that up.
This is me giving Friedrich Bachmann a second chance. I read Beartown, and it was stupid. And I don't know if I was just in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong emotional space to read that book, but I hated it.
All right. We'll figure it out.
But this guy has had great success, and people love Beartown, to be clear. I'm in the minority. Everyone loves Beartown.
Yeah.
So...
Well, we will get that all figured out. So go ahead and pick up your copy of Man Called Ove. We will be back here next Sunday. Is that true? We can do next Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Good question. But yes.
Okay. We need to double check that. But I'm pretty sure we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We have a lot of things coming up on weekends for the next, 6 weeks or something. But we should be fine. All right, but we will go ahead and put out a syllabus on Fable. And if you are just now joining us and you need our Fable, it's Books We Never Read on Fable. And you can join our book club there, discuss the book throughout the week. We also use that to make some of our notes to discuss here. And we will see y'all next time.
Happy reading, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Y'all have a good week.